Welcome back to DET Practice. Today we have 5 word completion questions to work through together. Let's get started. Let's start with the grammar. The sentence uses is followed by a verb. That's the present continuous tense, which follows the structure be plus a verb ending in ing. So whatever word completes this sentence must be a present participle. That immediately tells you the answer ends in ing, which rules out forms like prepared or preparation right away. Now look at the word itself. The first 5 letters given are prepa. The root here comes from Latin preparare, meaning to make ready in advance. You can see this root alive in everyday English words like preparation, preparatory, and of course, prepare. Once you recognize that root, completing the word becomes almost automatic. There's also a usage point worth noting. In English, we say prepare for something. Prepare for an exam, prepare for an interview, prepare for the speaking section. This prepare for collocation is extremely natural to native speakers, and the Duolingo English Test loves testing whether you can complete words that fit naturally into a real-life academic or test-taking context. So, to recap, the present continuous structure demands a present participle. The root prepa leads you directly to prepare, and the collocation prepare for confirms the context. The answer is preparing. Now let's move on. The first thing to notice in this next one is have followed by a verb. Whenever you see have or has in this position, you are looking at the present perfect tense. And in the present perfect, the main verb must appear in its past participle form. For regular verbs, that means adding ed to the base. So right away, the grammar tells you the word ends in ed. Now let's look at the letters given. D-I-S-C-U-S. This is the beginning of discuss. Notice the double S, D-I-S-C-U-S-S. That double consonant is a small but important spelling detail that test takers sometimes miss under pressure. Adding ed to discuss gives you discussed, with 2 S's before the ed. It's also worth thinking about collocation. Discuss the results is a completely natural academic phrase. You discuss findings, you discuss outcomes, you discuss data. The word discuss is transitive, meaning it takes a direct object without a preposition. A very common mistake is to write discuss about the results, but that is incorrect. Discuss the results, no preposition needed. To sum up, the present perfect structure requires a past participle. The root discuss leads to discuss, and the correct spelling preserves the double S before adding ed. The answer is discussed. Here's the third one. Let's begin with the sentence structure. The word we're completing functions as the subject of the sentence. It's the thing that improved. That means the answer must be a noun because subjects are nouns. You're not looking for a verb or an adjective. The grammar points you directly toward a noun form. Now look at the word root, P-E-R-F-O-R-M. You know the verb perform. To turn a verb into a noun in English, one of the most common suffixes is ance or ence. Think of perform becoming performance, appear becoming appearance, exist becoming existence. Recognizing this suffix pattern is incredibly useful on the Duolingo English Test, where you frequently need to identify or complete word forms across different parts of speech. There's also a vocabulary dimension here. Performance is a high-frequency academic word that appears across many contexts: musical performance, academic performance, athletic performance, job performance. The context here refers to skill or ability that improved through practice, which fits performance perfectly. In summary, the subject position requires a noun, the verb root perform plus the noun suffix ance gives you performance, and the academic context confirms the choice. The answer is performance. Let's keep the momentum going. The next word we're completing in the sentence is also the subject, and the verb is was. Since the subject slot requires a noun, you know immediately that you're completing a noun form, not a verb form like explaining or explained. Focus on the partial word, explana. This is the beginning of explanation. The root comes from Latin explanare, meaning to make flat or make clear, and you can see this root in related words like explain, explanatory, and self-explanatory. What's happening grammatically is a process called nominalization, turning the verb explain into the noun explanation, using the suffix tion. This tion suffix is one of the most productive in academic English. Words like preparation, organization, communication, and explanation all follow this same pattern. If you can recognize tion as a noun-forming suffix, you'll navigate a huge number of word completion items on the Duolingo English test with confidence. There's also a collocational point here. Explanation pairs naturally with adjectives like detailed, clear, brief, and thorough. The sentence says the explanation was very detailed, which is perfectly natural and confirms the word form. To recap, the subject position requires a noun, the root explana connects to explain, and the tion suffix converts it into the noun form. The answer is explanation. And here's our final one. Start with grammar and number agreement. The subject uses these, a plural demonstrative, paired with the plural verb are. That means the noun in this sentence must be plural. You're not writing technique in its singular form. The sentence demands the plural. Now let's look at the word itself. The letters given are techniq, the beginning of technique. This word is borrowed directly from French, which is why the spelling looks a little unusual, particularly that QUE ending. In English, words ending in QUE almost always originate from French: technique, unique, antique, critique, boutique. Recognizing this French borrowing pattern helps you spell the word correctly rather than writing something like technique or technict, which are common errors. There's also a usage point worth highlighting. In academic and test preparation contexts, technique is an extremely common word. You encounter study techniques, test-taking techniques, memorization techniques, breathing techniques. The sentence places techniques in the context of vocabulary review, which is completely natural and high frequency. To sum up, the plural marker these are requires a plural noun, the root technique leads to technique, and the French QUE spelling completes the form. The answer is techniques. That wraps up today's 5 questions. If you want to keep practicing with questions just like these, visit detpractice.com and start your free 3-day VIP trial today. Your target score is closer than you think.